So welcome back. I'm just doing a short video today. As you can see, I'm already flying. That's just some, window dressing. I want to do a very short video because my previous video, the VFR over the Randstad area, is getting an incredible amount of views already. So thanks for watching that. But I get a lot of questions on, well, what is the scenery that you have installed? Where can I get it? How can I install it? So I decided instead of answering all these questions manually with my keyboard in the YouTube comments, I decided to make basically a short video on that. And that's what you're looking at now. So I did some research this afternoon because it's been more than 2 years ago since I downloaded this scenery for Explain 10. I just copied it from Explain 10 to Explain 11 and it works. But I didn't know what I downloaded, how to install it, etc. So I had to do some research. Did that this afternoon, and well, the first of all, what's pretty sad to say is that the photo scenery tiles that are the basis of my scenery, the zoom level 17 tiles, they are not online anymore. I've looked everywhere for them, but I can't find them. So basically, that's a bit of a downside. However, there are two alternatives how you can get the photo scenery tiles for the Netherlands. And one is a website where you can download photo scenery tiles, but they are in zoom level 16 and this is zoom level 17. So that means that the image quality is slightly less in zoom level 16. And well, the other option that you might have is Ortho 4XP, an application that you might have already heard about. So I will go over both of the options first because, well, basically the photo scenery tiles, they are yeah, the basis of the scenery. Yeah, what, like I said, that's the basis of the scenery. If you want the feeling that you fly over the Netherlands, basically the only thing you need is a photo scenery tile. Now, like I said, there are two options. The first one is zonephoto.explain.fr. No. Um, which is down here. If you go to their website, zonephoto.x-plane.fr, you can go to the global map, and there you have the map of Europe, and you can see it's divided in all sort of small tiles. Shut up. And well, they have some areas other than Europe also covered. That's Florida, that's part of the Mediterranean. Actually, most of it are the French overseas territories. Here's another one. That's all being covered. A little bit of Norway. Um, but anyway, every tile is a photo scenery tile that you can download. Like I said, it's in zoom level 16, but well, there's one thing, however. To download this, the website uses a Java application. And like you saw, I was launching Firefox especially for this. And the reason for that is that Java doesn't work with Google Chrome, so you can't use Chrome. And I tried it in Internet Explorer, but somehow with the security built into Internet Explorer, it won't allow you to execute the download manager that you need for this. So a couple of months ago, when I got my new PC, I wasn't able to download them, and then I thought, well, maybe I can try installing Java into Firefox, and maybe then it does work, and it did. So I need Firefox to be able to download this, so it might just as well work for you that way. Anyway, you click on a tile, you get a link like this, click it, it brings you to the download page. It says, do you want to run this application? Just accept the risk, run it, and then you get the download manager. It says the name of the tile that you're about to download. You can choose the destination on your hard disk where you want it saved. Then you press download, and well, this will show you the percentage of the download that is completed. The tiles are quite big, so they do take up a lot of hard disk space, but well, Zoom level 17 tiles are even larger and take up even more space. Um, Only downside of this method is they only allow you to download one tile, one file at a time. That's just because they have to protect their servers, and you really have to stick to that. Otherwise, you will get a penalty, and then you cannot download for a while. But this is quite good. I have a lot of these tiles downloaded and installed. Basically, all of the northern France, Belgium, large part of England. I still have to do Scotland. I have the Alpine regions downloaded from this. So my other video for the approach in Innsbruck, you will see photo scenery. That's these tiles. So this is really to be recommended for Europe. Zoom level 16. They are, well, large tiles, but not extremely large. And I get very good performance over them. So that's something to remember if you love flying in Europe, and if you have a lot of hard disk space, you can just download this. Um, However, if you don't want Zoom level 16 and you want Zoom level 17 or higher, then there's only one alternative that I know, and that's Ortho 4 XP. You can download that, install it, and then use it. I'm not going to tell you how to download and install it, and I'm not going to tell you how it works. And the reason for that is that there are plenty of other tutorials online that will show you in great detail how to download it, how to install it, and how it works. And I will link two videos in the description of this one to videos, well, that helped me in installing it and in creating my first tiles. So, well, what it is, I can show you briefly. This is what you get. Um, in here, you can create photo scenery tiles. You go to the Earth tile map and you get basically the entire globe. You can pick any place you like. You double click it, and then it shows the rough coordinate of the tile. And you can basically go on and do build mask, build overlays, and you can build a photo tile with that. You can also make custom zoom levels. So if you preview it, this is the tile I selected. And well, this is Lelystad Airport where we are flying now, the area. This is for zoom level 17, but if you say, well, if I am approaching the airport, I want zoom level 19 on the approach, you can basically click zoom level 19, shift, left click here, shift, left click here, there, and then it will create a sector that is zoom level 19 within the file. So you can play along with that. It's really cool. I'm not going to get into it in too much detail. Click on the links in the video, in the description of the video. Find your way into it. It's really worth the effort to get to know this, because this will give you the potential of making photo scenery for any place on the planet that you like, and you don't have to wait for any developers to start developing regions. You can just create your own photo scenery, which is basically pretty cool. Now, once you have the photo scenery in place and you have downloaded it, all you have to do is just install it in your Explain 11 custom scenery folder in here. And then you run explain once, and I strongly advise you to close it immediately, and then you go to the bottom of the custom scenery folder where you have the scenery packs, and if you open it, there you have a list of all the scenery that you have installed, and the order in which you place it does matter, and that's because the way explain creates the scenery, it's basically built in layers. So I can show you that. The first layer is called the mesh, and the mesh is basically the skeleton. Um, and on top of the skeleton, there comes the scenery tiles. So, for instance, now the photo scenery tiles, and that's basically the skin. And if you have the skin in place, then you can add other objects like 3D objects or third-party developer airports, etc., etc. So that's the order that you want in the scenery packs. So it's the mesh file, then it's the photoreal tiles. On top of that come the general libraries of 3D objects that I have installed at least. And then you get the explain demo areas and all the airports. Always make sure that the airports are on top, because otherwise, if you say the world models is above the airports, you will see the third-party airports and then with random objects placed in them. So if it's below something else, the one on top has priority. That's being shown in the sim. Anything that's down there is not being shown. That's how it works basically. So once you have the mesh wall that's already in there, once you have the photo tile installed, then you can start looking for the 3D objects that are in the simulator, like the windmills, the buildings, etc. And I got mine from simheaven.com. And simheaven.com has a pretty neat website. It's very clear. It looks very good. You should just go to the world to explain sceneries and you scroll down. And there you find this list of files. To get the stuff that I have, you need two. First, you need the world models file. You always need that. If you download any of these packages, you will always need the world models file. So download that one and just install it in the custom scenery folder. And I have the World to Explain Europe mix downloaded and installed. And once you have downloaded and installed the World to Explain Europe mix in your custom scenery folder, go to the map and read the read before installation text document. Because in there you will find this little bit of text saying to get the scenery running, you need to install these libraries. Open Scenery X, R2, FF, and the world models. Well, world models we already saw. We can download that from SimHeaven. But the Open Scenery X, R2, and FF library, they have links behind that, hyperlinks. So you can just copy paste these websites into your browser, go there, and then download the stuff that you need. And also install these libraries in the custom scenery folder for Explain. Again, launch Explain, close it immediately. Then you will find in the custom scenery folder, in the init, in the scenery packs file, you will find that all the stuff that you just added is in there, and then you just have to cut and paste it to the right position, which is the photo tiles low but above the mesh. And on top of the photo tiles, you will place the R2 library, world models, world to explain, open scenery X, FF library, and if you like the Europe library. So you can put all that in. And above that come the Lowy demo area and the K Seattle demo area. So basically, for yourself as a reference, make sure that the lines from the scenery pack for the different libraries are below the Lowy demo area and above the photo real tiles. Then you will have the right order. Now, once you have downloaded all that, you can just move it all in the simulator, but you will see that there is a huge impact in frame rates. So I strongly recommend the following method of installing this. First, go for the photo scenery tiles and install them. Just them. Then start a flight, fly over it and just see what your performance is like. If the performance is good and you have a lot of frames per second, then you should install the World to Explain Europe mix file with the World to Explain World Models file. Because if you haven't installed these two, you will have a photo tile with the Explain 11's own scenery objects in it. And the objects, well, they look very nice and there's nothing wrong with them, but they aren't placed very accurate. So for instance, you have a farm field in here, farmland, and the AutoGen from X-Plane 11 will position a farm right in the middle of the field, while in the picture you can see it should be there and nothing is being shown there. But all in all, only a photo scenery tile with the AutoGen objects from X-Plane 11 will give you a very good feeling of flying over the Netherlands with very good performance. So only if that's not good enough for you, then you should go and move on with the World to X-Plane files. Now, first you do the World to X-Plane Europe mix, because that has the OpenStreetMap data in it. And the OpenStreetMap data, that's what makes sure that buildings and objects are placed in positions where they are in real life. And that's very accurate, as you can see here, because these windmills are there in real life. You can see that on the photo with the shadow and the windmill itself. And also they are placed exactly in the spot alongside the surface road where they are in real life. The object placement is incredibly detailed, but that also makes sure that the computer has to do a lot of calculations to place the right objects in the right place. So it has a huge frame rate impact. So after you have installed the World to Explain Europe mix, again, fire up your sim, start flying and see what an impact it had on the frame rates. Now, if your frame rates are extremely low because of this, just delete it and leave it out and never get it back in. If you have installed it and your frame rates are still incredibly good, then you can move on with installing the 3D objects, the libraries that are mentioned in the README file. Just add them in and see what an impact they have on the frame rates. For instance, I use the OpenScenery X database. That's the one that has the windmills in it. If I leave it out, I don't see the windmills, but my performance is even better than it is right now. So if you have a low-end PC and performance is a bit of an issue, just wait with inserting the libraries with the 3D objects, because they have the biggest impact on the frames. And build your sim like that, just step by step. First the photo scenery, then the World to Explain Europe mix, and then the library with the objects, because in that way you can really control the impact it has on your sim's performance. Well, that's about it. That's how you install the scenery. By the way, this is the public beta 8 for Explain 11, which I'm very pleased with, because it gave me a significant upgrade in the performance. I have much better performance now. And when I was busy trying stuff this afternoon, I also tried something else. I played along with the settings of Sky Maxpro V4, and I will show you them as well, because I think if you have it, what benefited me was this was on HD cloud puffs, and when I set that back to dense particles, my performance of Sky Maxpro V4 exploded. It still looks gorgeous, but the performance is much better. So before, with the HD cloud puffs, I had the cloud area covered to less than 5,000 square kilometers. And with this, I can easily set it to 30,000 and maybe even more. But well, this does the trick for me. So really look into this, play with it, and there's a lot of performance gains to be obtained if you play with this. So that's really nice. Another question concerned my graphic settings. So I will show them as well in this video. Here they are. And this is when I fly over the Netherlands with all the packages installed. I cannot go higher than this. Despite the fact that my system is pretty high-end, I will again, there's a slide in the beginning of the video with the hardware specifications of my PC. Over the World to Explain scenery with all the extra library object libraries, this is the highest I can get and still get a decent performance. However, I created some photo scenery tiles on my own with Ortho4XP for the San Francisco Bay Area, and there's no fancy OSM in there or whatever. It's just photo scenery tiles with the auto gen, and if I have that, I can basically max out all the sliders. The only thing that I never max out is the anti-aliasing, because basically if you go higher than 4 times SSA plus FXAA, well, I don't see the difference in the image that I'm looking at, but the performance of the sim drops significantly. So I would really recommend you never set this higher than 4 times SSAA plus FXAA, because well, I think you have little gain by maxing it out, while the cost in frames is enormous. So basically, these are the settings that I use. Was a question from someone, don't know anymore who asked it, but basically you can now look at it, pause the video, and you have my settings. So that's about it. That's what I wanted to say. That's how you install the scenery that I have. That's the packages that you need. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. The only thing that I'm not gonna answer are questions concerning Ortho 4 XP, either how to use it or either how to install it. Like I said, I will include two links to YouTube videos, one concerning the install and one concerning how to use it. They helped me, I was able to do it. If you follow the instructions in those videos, it should work for you. If you follow them and it doesn't, go to the respective creators of those videos, to ask them for help, because they have much more expertise in that field than I am. I'm a complete amateur, I'm a complete noob. I only finished one tile, that's the San Francisco Bay Area, didn't do anything else, and it worked, and it was more luck than wisdom. So if you have any questions concerning that, go to the creators of the other videos. And that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.